Please subscribe.
We've arrived at the last introduction for GM's new age of strong, full-size SUVs. Regardless of whether the best was put something aside for keep going will rely upon our first drive impression coming in the not-so-distant future. However, we think Cadillac administrators would be quick to state to such an extent. The new Escalade made an elegant presentation in Los Angeles, apparently the extravagance SUV's home turf where it calmly serves a parade of big names, artists, and wealthy people of various ventures as a sumptuous yet unknown vehicle. We should concentrate on that extravagance part for a minute, since it's the place the Escalade ventures into a totally unique domain from even the most noteworthy spec GMC Yukon. As guaranteed, the Caddy has its own inside that highlights more than 38 creeps of corner-to-corner advanced showcase space on the scramble. It is anything but a solitary screen, but instead, 3 screens that length from the most distant left of the scramble to almost before the traveler. A 7.2-inch contact screen left of the controlling wheel is the driver data focus. In the driver's seat is a 14.2-inch show for instruments and other indispensable driving data. Moving to the privilege is the enormous 16.9-inch infotainment screen. All use OLED innovation with double the pixel thickness of a 4K TV that Cadillac says is an industry first for clearness just as arch of the screens. Furthermore, truly, it's standard issue for all Escalade models. We should concentrate on that extravagance part for a minute, since it's the place the Escalade ventures into a totally unique domain from even the most elevated spec GMC Yukon. As guaranteed, the Caddy has its own inside that highlights more than 38 creeps of corner-to-corner computerized show space on the scramble. It is anything but a solitary screen, yet rather, 3 screens that length from the most distant left of the scramble to about before the traveler. A 7.2-inch contact screen left of the guiding wheel is the driver data focus. In the driver's seat is a 14.2-inch show for instruments and other indispensable driving data. Moving to the privilege is the huge 16.9-inch infotainment screen. All use OLED innovation with double the pixel thickness of a 4K TV that Cadillac says is an industry first for lucidity just as arch of the screens. Also, indeed, it's standard issue for all Escalade models. Super Cruise likewise goes to the Escalade just because, better than ever with more than 200,000 miles of perfect interstates where without hands activity is accessible. That is totally observed by LiDAR information, GPS, cameras, and radar frameworks, and it likewise permits the Escalade to execute a sans hands path change by connecting with the blinker. A driver consideration framework screens the individual in the driver's seat intently, kicking in with alarms when the Escalade decides greater association is required. In the event that the new Escalade is great from a visual and innovative viewpoint, the automaker worked with AKG to make a discretionary 36-speaker sound framework that Cadillac additionally says is an industry first. It's controlled by 3 enhancers to make sound in 28 channels, and it's not simply utilized for siphoning up the bass. It can change volume settings autonomously in the front and back, and it can likewise work with the route framework to give guidance explicit sound prompts. In case you're moving toward a left turn, you'll hear the brief just on the left side. On the off chance that this is overpowering, the Escalade's standard issue AKG sound framework just has 19 speakers. Talking about hearing, implanted amplifiers in the Escalade's lodge can get voices and siphon them through the sound framework, helping travelers at furthest edges of the Caddy's nursery hear one another. Also, that nursery is greater than any time in recent memory. The change to the new frame with autonomous back suspension gives the Escalade a similar size knock as found with the Suburban and Yukon. For Cadillac, that implies 40% all the more third push legroom, 34.9 inches, and 68% more freight space, 25.5 cubic feet, behind the back line. Those details are for the standard length Escalade. The all-inclusive ESV knocks backload space to 42.9 cubic feet and legroom to 36.6 inches. Styling is clearly Caddy explicit with the enormous grille and meager headlights in advance. At the back you'll discover Cadillac's trademarked AMD vertical tail lights, and 22-inch wheels are standard for every single trim level. In the engine are 2 motor decisions, GM's 6.2-liter V8 delivering 420 pull, 313 kilowatts, or in an Escalade first, you can get the new 3.0-liter i6 turbo diesel useful for 277 horsepower, 207 kilowatts, and a pile of torque that equivalents the greater V8. The 2 motors utilize a similar 10-speed auto found on the Suburban and Yukon, just as a similar back-wheel drive powertrain with standard 4-wheel drive capacity. Cadillac says the 2021 Escalade is coming this late spring, yet a particular discounted date hasn't been declared. Evaluating will likewise be reported nearer to that on special date.